use as judge in English, has a much deeper meaning in Hebrew. The Hebrew word is shofet, which is more like a military type of defender, someone who fights for you and protects you. He is the ruler and will give the final judgment, but if you are on his side, he will deliver you.
In the book of Judges, we will read about 12 different judges. 6 of them are known as the major judges, but only because more are told about them, and 6 minor judges, because they are only mentioned briefly. What is interesting to note is that we also have 12 tribes in Israel. Another thing that is interesting is the tribe of Judah is known as the tribe associated with a lion. The Lion of Judah's symbolism traces back to the book of Genesis. On his deathbed, the patriarch Jacob blessed his son Judah and prophesied, "Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?" While a whelp might sound like a defenseless cub, in this context, it refers to a young, active, and growing lion coming off a successful hunt. Like a lion he crouches and lies down, like a lioness, who dares to rouse him? This represents a mature, secure lion resting after a victory. It signifies a period of absolute peace, stability, and unassailable authority. The reference to a fierce lion highlights a protective, unyielding nature that commands respect and fear from others. Judges 3 verse 9 to 11 we read, "And when the children of Israel cried out to Jehovah, Jehovah raised up a savior for the children of Israel, who saved them, Othniel son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. And the Spirit of Jehovah came upon him, and he ruled Israel, and went out to battle, and Jehovah gave into his hand the sovereign of Aram, which is Mesopotamia, and the land had rest for 40 years. The first judge Jehovah appoints to protect Israel is Othniel. His name is made of 2 words, Othni and El, where El is the short for Elohim. The word Othni comes from the verb aton, which means and denotes force and violence. This root is tied to the concept of being exalted or displaying fierce, aggressive strength like a charging lion. It translates directly to action, taking swift, decisive, and violent action against an opposing force. Judges 4 verse 4 to 5 speaks of Deborah, a prophetess, who was standing in as a ruler for Israel. It says she lived under the palm tree of Deborah in the mountains of Ephraim, which is very interesting. The children of Israel came to her for advice and for right judgments in cases of disputes among the children of Israel. From the Strong's definition for Deborah's name, it says her name means a bee. But why a bee? When you do more research in the Hebrew writings, you will also find that Deborah's name relates to the word Debar, meaning words. So how does her name mean bee and words at the same time? This is a classical example of how Hebrew and the ancient languages work. Words are used to describe something. It is not just meaningless words on paper, they have depth. So the real meaning behind the name Deborah is to rather describe the sense of orderly motion. Bees are known for their highly organized, communal, and disciplined social structure. The root word for Deborah or Debar also carries the meaning of driving or herding, like a swarm of bees that famously follows and is led by their queen, functioning as a single unit. Honey represents both sweetness and wisdom, while a bee sting represents discipline. The bee perfectly embodies both aspects, mirroring the spoken word of teaching or prophecy, which can be both comforting and corrective. This is why Debar, meaning words, also relates to speech and the arrangement of words to have specific meaning. We read something interesting in Judges 9. After capturing and destroying the city of Shechem, Abimelech tore down its buildings and sowed the ruins with salt. We will learn through our Bible studies later in the year how salt symbolizes permanence, purity, and preservation. It was a precious and highly valued commodity in the ancient Near East, and still carries great importance even today. Because of its physical properties, it represents divine covenants, the cleansing of sin, and the active influence believers are meant to have in the world. Later in the book of Mark, we will also look at the deeper meaning of salt from Yeshua's teachings. When we come to the story of Samson, from the book of Judges chapters 13 to 16, we are confronted with a couple of riddles, one of which has amazingly to do with a lion and honey. We read how a young lion came roaring at Samson. And the Spirit of Jehovah came mightily upon him, and Samson tore the lion apart with his bare hands. Later he walked past the carcass of the lion, and saw a swarm of bees and honey in the carcass of the lion. And he took some of it in his hands and went along, eating the honey. Later Samson uses this event as a riddle, saying, "Out of the eater came forth food, and out of the strong came forth sweetness." In our Bible study program, we look at the meaning of these riddles that Samson gave. In this example, we see how Samson is a picture of the Jehovah himself, who destroys his enemies, yet brings the sweet to those who abide in him. We learn something super interesting about the names of Samson and Delilah. We read in Judges 16 verse 5 where Delilah is told to entice Samson with every method possible to find out the secret to his strength. So what Delilah did is to keep pushing his for answers, by sweet words and even by fighting with him. She just kept nagging and nagging him, until finally Samson gave in. And this is the exact meaning of Delilah, to wear you out, so that later all your energy has left you, you become weak, low in your mood and even distressed. Sometimes we have situations and people like that in our lives. It can be relentless. To learn more about Samson, his name, the meaning behind his hair and the amazing meaning about the 2 pillars which he pushed before he died, join our daily study program. We go through all these amazing gems in 1 year while covering the entire Bible. You can join any time of the year, go to our website and click subscribe. You will receive these teachings for 1 year in your email inbox. Close to the end of the book of Judges, Israel is left without king, judge, or prophet. And we read that every man did that which was right in his own eyes. Does that not sound like the times we are living in today? Here we see how quickly Israel turns into a Sodom and Gomorrah themselves, but much worse than the one from Genesis 19, because of sexual violence. The enemy of Israel and Jehovah is no longer on the outside, as we have read from Exodus, Joshua, and until now in Judges, but the enemy is now within Israel. It is because Israel has rejected Jehovah himself and his kingship, and crowned themselves as better lawgivers. But right at the end of the book of Judges, we see it is at this very low point in their lives that they realize the beauty and importance of Jehovah's laws and covenant, and that is when they ask to return to him and learn his ways again.
Thank you for visiting and listening to the Bible Study Program Summary. There are a whole lot of gems in our Read the Bible in 1 year program. You can join the program any time of the year. To receive the mails for this program, we will leave the link to email subscription in the description below. Please like this video if you found it interesting, and please subscribe to our channel so more people can receive some daily Bible gems.